My name is Taylor Rodabaugh, and today, for my project, I will be talking about athletes and mental health, the stigma behind it all. The stigma of mental health. A stigma is a set of negative and unfair beliefs that a society or group of people have about something. Now, with that, there is a huge stigma when it comes to athletes who have mental health problems. This stigma causes athletes to break themselves and never seek to get the help or attention they need by a specialist because of the outlook of it being an imperfection, which scares athletes from getting help because of the negative support they have received from coaches, peers, and the public. For example, many haven't sought help due to the fear of being let go from their team, not being able to go professional, and many jobs that are beyond the athletics. Where is this taking place? It is taking place here, in your school that you attend. Athletes are everywhere here, and you probably don't know it, but you probably have an athlete in at least one of your classes throughout the semester. I took a survey here for a project, and the results are that 1 in 3 athletes have suffered from mental health problems. Not only that, but every NCAA school, whether it's D1, D2, or D3, has athletes suffering from mental health issues. Every NAI school or junior college as well. Not only is this taking place in colleges, but it's taking place in elementary schools, middle schools, high schools, as well as many professional leagues, whether it's NBA, WNBA, MLB, pro leagues, and the Olympics as well. Many of us are sports fans, and whenever the Olympics or World Cup are on TV, we always have sat down and watched. Well, did you know that many of them have suffered with mental health problems? Here's just a couple that have. Simone Biles, who is a gymnast, withdrew from the 2021 Olympics due to the strain and mental health issues she was dealing with. She stated, "It is crucial to protect our mind and our body rather than just go out there and do what the world wants us to do." Ricky Williams, who is an NFL player, suffered from social anxiety and depression. Abby Wambach, a National Soccer Hall of Famer and Olympic gold medalist, had struggled with alcohol abuse, addiction, and many mental health challenges. Naomi Osaka, one of the top tennis players in the world, was recently fined $15,000 for skipping a press conference. She announced later that she suffered from a severe anxiety and depressive symptoms and did not feel comfortable speaking in public. Michael Phelps, who is known as the world record-breaking Olympic swimmer, revealed that he has had substance abuse issues and suicidal thoughts, entering a rehab center in 2014. Phelps also came out and has recently spoken about the negative effect the COVID-19 pandemic has had on his mental health. Amanda Beard, Olympic swimmer and elite athlete, revealed her mental health challenges surrounding depression, poor body image, self-harm, and disordered eating. Those are just a couple of people that we know as our role models that have suffered with mental health. I believe the negative stigma with athletes and mental health comes from poor understanding from peers, coaches, and the public. They only see what an athlete is doing on the court or field and not all the hard work they have to do off to help maintain their skills. They don't see the morning lifts and conditionings. They don't see that athletes are just like regular people too. They have classes, exams, homework, clinicals, and lab works. They have to have treatments for injuries while still expected to practice and play. Having to work hard to maintain any scholarship money that is given to you since it's not secure and you can get it pulled at any moment. They have any aspects of daily life that anyone goes through, while having long bus rides to other states while trying to finish up classwork for that day or studying for an exam. Why am I talking about athletes and mental health? I decided to talk about this topic because it is something that I have been dealing with. After 12 years of playing a sport that made me who I am today, I've had a coach that has sucked the life out of me. Not literally, but you get the point. I was being overworked and treated badly by my peers, and it has led me to be able to be open about it, which is something that a lot of athletes are scared of talking about. Most are scared because they don't want to be looked down on and be told that they are weak-minded by their coaches and teammates. The fear of talking about mental illness. It is proven that a research study Athletes fear that disclosing mental health symptoms or disorders would reduce their chances of maintaining or signing a professional team contract or an advertising campaign. Why should this issue be resolved? This saying by Simone Biles, "Athletes are people too," has always stuck with me. I believe that the issue of ending the stigma with athletes that suffer from mental health because athletes are people too. They carry on the same lifestyle as every other high schooler, college kid, or adults too, but with more pressure and stress on them to always be performing their best on and off the court, since all eyes are on them at all times. Athletes shouldn't have to worry about the negative opinions of the public, their coaches, or their peers for trying to get the help and resources that they need. My opinion of the issue being resolved. I believe that we should resolve this issue because mental health is very important to everyone, but it is overlooked when it comes to athletes. Nobody sees the hours spent since most people were in the gym training, the money spent on school and club teams, as well as new equipment and gear, early mornings and late nights working out, having games, practicing, or training. Nobody sees that the public has put this figure on all men and women athletes on having something that the public and many organizations have asked is, how could this issue be resolved? The issue could be resolved by having more resources for athletes, providing one-on-one sessions every week to check up on their life outside of sports, having a sports psychologist that can talk to athletes about their mindset and struggles, having time off so athletes can pursue other interests. Those are not the only ways I believe this issue could be resolved. I believe that if coaches and athletic administration educated themselves and gave positive resources and information to their athletes, they would have a better feeling on going out and seeking the help that they need from professionals. Mental health. The NCAA organization has partnered up and offered tools and guidance to care for student athletes. The NCAA Sports Science Institute has provided educational resources for health and safety to college athletes, coaches, athletic administrations, and campus partners. The impact of the stigma. Many people struggle with mental health issues on an everyday basis for as long as we could remember, but the ones that are being looked down upon are athletes that suffer from mental health problems. Athletes from all over the world are affected by their mental health, which causes bad performance on the court and off the court. It occurs in young athletes like middle school and high school, athletes that are competing collegiately, whether it's NAIA, JUCO, D1, D2, or D3, and pro leagues all over the world. Level. They spend an absurd amount of hours in the gym, court, or field training to be able to perform their best. Not only are there hours to better your performance while playing, but the hours spent to uphold your GPA and grades. Body image concerns and high expectations are many of the negatives that women and men have dealt with, and athletes barely have extra time to relax and pursue other interests. Statistics. 40 million U.S. adults suffer from anxiety disorder, and 75% of them experience their first episode of anxiety by the age of 22. 30% of college students reported that stress had negatively affected their academic performance. 30% of women and 25% of men who are student athletes report having anxiety, while only 10% of college athletes seek care from a mental health professional. 35% of elite athletes suffer from disordered eating, burnout, depression, and anxiety. 1 in 12 college athletes reported feeling so depressed that it was difficult for them to function either constantly or most every day. 60% of men and 55% of women indicated that they were not aware how they could access mental health support in their current location. What doctors and healthcare professionals say on why mental health issues aren't taken as seriously as physical issues. Dr. Sacco quotes, "Athletes are being told that mental health is a priority and then they're not being supported." As well as, I think as onlookers we see it from this kind of armchair standpoint where we think we can understand it and the athlete should just be able to figure this out. Dr. Sacco says, and I think that this really lacks any kind of real awareness on what's really going on. She also states, it gives a mixed message. We're still swimming upstream against this idea that mental health is not perceived as a whole to be as important as physical health problems. As many of us love watching sports, play with our friends or family, and supporting your favorite team or player while they're playing on the field or court, we should also be supporting them when it comes to their mental health. How would you ever be able to support your team if your favorite player just got up and left because of not being supported by the public or coaches because of the negative outlook of athletes and mental health? It would be pretty upsetting, right? Athletes need your support, not only cheering them on to win, but also the support when it comes to mental health. Athletes cannot perform their best when their mind is telling their body not to do this, because we all know that everything is an extremely mental game. I believe that we have all been there when it comes to your body not being able to do anything because your mind is somewhere else. Now imagine playing in front of thousands of people and being in that headspace. The stigma with athletes and mental health needs to end, and it starts with one person. Will that one person be you?